Why does being real attract wealth while perfection repels it? Why does money arrive not through shouting, selling, or scheming, but through documenting, witnessing, and revealing what's real? Why does the act of simply speaking what is, without gloss, without filter, without apology, signal to abundance that I'm ready to receive? Why does every time I write my truth, name my fear, claim my joy, activate unseen ripples that move money closer? Why does income appear in the quiet, in the subtle, in the sacred edges of my honesty, while staying hidden when I try too hard to be heard? Why does the whisper of my truth echo louder than the scream of my strategy? Why does documenting the now, this messy, magical, in-progress now, send out a beacon stronger than any polished performance? Why does every raw sentence, every unedited share, every moment of realness open a portal into future wealth, soul clients, and sacred connections? Why does money arrive through the door left open by my vulnerability, rather than the one locked by perfection? Why does the universe reward truth scribbled in margins, thoughts shared before they're ready, insights released without needing to impress? Why does the very act of letting people see me become the gateway for energy, attention, and exchange? Why does my truth in motion create value? Value that isn't always measured in likes or metrics, but in resonance, reach, and real-life return? Why does my journal become a ledger, my captions a currency, my blog a bank of soul-aligned worth? Why does emotional honesty convert to energetic wealth, and energetic wealth into physical form? Money, messages, miracles, all born from meaning? Why does documenting become my devotion, my discipline, my delivery system for abundance that respects my humanity? Why does being witnessed in my wholeness become the proof that I'm already worthy of receiving? Why does money trust me more when I stop hiding, stop curating, stop pretending, and start revealing, expressing, and embracing the fullness of what I carry? Why does each time I post without polishing, speak without scripting, share without shrinking, create deeper intimacy with those meant to support me? Why does showing up as I am, where I am, how I am, become more than enough to attract income, insight, and impact? Why does documenting the behind the scenes, the not yet there, the almost ready, build bridges to clients, collaborators, and cash that my final product never could? Why does being seen in my truth soften resistance, strengthen magnetism, and stabilize my sense of worth in ways no external validation can? Why does the page I almost didn't share become the exact page that brings in a new opportunity, new income, new alignment? Why does speaking from the soul touch places deeper than strategy can reach, transforming attention into trust, and trust into transactions? Why does letting people into my process invite prosperity into my life? Because transparency is the new currency, and resonance is the new ROI? Why does truth shared in the margins rewrite the story of my life in gold? Why does the truth I write in the margins make the main story of my life wildly profitable? Why does documenting not just share who I am, but shape who I become, stretch what I allow, and summon what I deserve? Why does my income become a mirror of my honesty, a reflection of my openness, a result of my willingness to be seen? Why does telling my story in real time create more momentum than waiting for the perfect ending? Why does simply being real, on the page, on the mic, in the moment, become the most magnetic business model I've ever known?